Hey everyone, Ed here with Up North with the Nybergs. Busy weekend plan. We're going to be doing some wood chipping on this episode. We're also going to be doing a lot of work down by the Red Barn as well too. Outside work. Finally, it's actually pretty nice, so stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back to Up North with the Nybergs. Ed here, along with Rachel and David. It's a beautiful day today. It's supposed to get up in the mid-70s, which we have not seen since last fall. The highest it's gotten before is around 60 here, so we're pretty excited. Today what we're going to work on is these big piles right here. These big, as we call them, beaver piles. There's a couple of them here that we're going to try and get rid of with our Woodland Mills wood chipper. So right now, Rachel and David, they did a lot of this work in the fall with these beaver piles. And today we're going to try and give Kathy some wood chips here so that she has some in her garden. So stick around and watch us try and lower some of the amounts of these piles. All right, we got multiple projects going on as well too here. The kids are up there working on the wood chipping that I just showed you, but we're also, Kathy and I, are going to rake by hand, that's our exercise, this area right here. We didn't get a chance to do it last fall because we had an early winter. Usually we'll try and do it in the fall. If not, we've got to come down and do it on the first warm day. So that's what we're going to do now. Typically what we do is just rake it, throw it on this tarp, drag it over into the pasture area, and we start mulch piles over there that Kathy can use for a garden. So that's another thing that we're doing today, and hopefully the weather is going to hold out. Right now it's really warm, but we do have storms coming, so hopefully we can get all this done. So I better stop talking and give Kathy a hand. right, we don't really worry about grass down here too much, but we do like to keep the leaves at bay. We've got some really old maples here. I mean, these things are mammoth and they are old, and so we get a lot of leaves off these trees, as any maple would, but we also get a lot of, because they're so old, we get a lot of branches, tiny branches, big branches, all sorts of branches that are falling constantly here. And we get a lot of wind. We're on a peninsula, so we get a lot of wind, so we're always having to pick up this area here. But like I said, we don't really worry about the grass down here. We just want to kind of clear it up and get the leaves out of the way. right, as you can see, they made very short work. It really wasn't quick.
Feel short.
It wasn't quick work, that's for sure. There were two, if you remember, the two big beaver piles. There was just two, right? Or was there three?
Two.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a couple more left, but for the most part, a little one here and a little one back here, for the most part, they really cleaned it up with that Woodland Mills wood chipper, and of course the Kubota MX5400. So while Kathy and I were down around the barn doing some raking some leaves and stuff, David and Rachel put that Woodland Mills wood chipper to good use. That's an 8-inch Woodland Mills wood chipper, and I don't feel comfortable putting anything larger than probably 4 inches, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you probably could stretch it to 5, but for the most part, it does a pretty good job with, I'm going to say 5 or less, but if you can, anything over close to 5 anyway, we'll use for wood burning for the wood boiler. But that's what we have left in the bucket. We're going to take that up and see if any of that is usable for the wood boiler. But so what'd you think of the wood chipper? I think you've used it once.
That was the first time that I like manned the controls. It honestly wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Once you get it to suck in correctly.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Yeah. And what was the biggest piece do you think you did? Maybe
probably 5. There was like 2 or 3 that were right on the edge of 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, and it handled it all right.
Yeah.
For the most part.
As long as they're straight, it's no big deal.
Yeah, when you start getting the V's and knuckles, as I call them, then it gets a little tougher.
There's some that were like 2 or 3 inches, but they had a little knuckle on them, and
right.
it wouldn't
does. Yeah. Or sometimes you can turn it and fit it in a different way, but we'll keep it on the tractor now for another 2 or 3 weeks. And then on and off throughout the summer to get out of the way, because this is the driveway up to the house, and it looks a lot better. These guys, Rachel and David, have been working on this area back in through here pretty much since last fall, and it was in pretty bad shape. We get a lot of wind that knocks these trees down, and it just, after 1 or 2 years, it really compounds. And I'm really pleased and thankful that you guys were able to do that, because it really looks really nice now. We still have a little bit of work to do. We got some falling trees over here that we'll knock out as soon as we can. But for the most part, that's it for this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And as always, if you like this type of content, please consider sharing with your family and friends and hitting the like button and subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, we really, really want to thank you, and we appreciate your support. The comments are great. I really love interacting with you, so please keep those up as well. And as always, I'm Ed, and this is
David.
We'll see you next week on Up North with the Nybergs.